You know, this particular image of the former royal known as Prince Harry discussing the forthcoming Invictus Games over in Canada at NATO, well, it's kind of struck a chord with a lot of people, but not the right sort of chord. I don't know if you felt this, but again, Dial-In Harry, as he's called now, you know, seemingly couldn't bother to make the effort to go over there. And you do kind of think, well, this was clearly an important thing. How busy can you be? And more importantly, do you want these things to be a success or not? As we know, earlier this year, well, basically they went over there to do the launch, and that was met once again with a chorus of disapproval. But now it looks like Invictus could be slowly fighting back, particularly where concerning the former royal known as the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle. As ever, let me explain. Thanks for your company today, and as ever, thank you so much for taking the time out to joining me. And by the way, I just wanted to say, I don't know about you, but I was talking to someone the other day, and they said to me, you know, what's on at the cinema, do you know? And I thought, I've no idea. Do you know what's on at the cinema? I don't mean that in a flippant way, but you know, years ago you knew, didn't you, all the big movies, you know, whatever it was at the time, whether it be Austin Powers or something like that. I don't know, you have no idea now because there's no big movie stars, in my opinion. I find that fascinating. That actually got me thinking, I have no idea what number one is in the charts, and I have no idea what the big movies are, or indeed the big movie stars. It's a bit worrying, isn't it? Is that an age thing? Does it, you know what I mean? You look and think, because in the old days you'd read it in the paper, wouldn't you? Odeon, you know, View, whatever. Think, oh right, that's on. I have no idea. Well, yes, it's a thought, isn't it? Makes you wonder. It's a little bit like this, let me tell you, because things are not going very well over in the land of Montecito. Imagine, as you know, when Harry and Meghan decided to take on that on board, and basically, as I told you, she was now going to become a part of that. Do you remember when she turned up at the previous one, like 4 days late, and then took over the whole thing, grabbed the mic and talked about making milkshakes and school runs and stuff like that? Absolute rubbish. Just wanted attention, making sure that her arrival was pivoted. And then she really offended everybody, as we all know, by walking in front of the veterans in some sloppy outfit with some sandals and shorts on. And you think, what was that about? But did you notice this one redeeming factor? You see, during all of that sort of thing, when you think about it, you're there to promote one thing, the Invictus Games. And behind the scenes, there's a lot of money goes on. And what you really need, particularly the forthcoming games next year in 2025, the Canadian government are going to have to stump up quite a bit of money. A lot of people don't realise that, but it is, and that's the deal. And, you know, I wish everybody who's taking part all the success. But one of the stipulations, as ever, we have to say allegedly, that Invictus are now basically saying is that they want to see the ex-royals in more branded content. Because apparently if they were wearing branded content, and by that, you know, you and I know this is a name on the t-shirt, the cap sleeve, the baseball hat, the pen, the pendant, you know, branded content can sell a lot. It's what theatres make a lot of money on. So people could not understand, apparently, when Meghan Markle alongside Prince Harry rocked up, never was she wearing any of the content. She was wearing incredibly expensive designer clothes, which stipulation goes, you know, nobody's quite sure exactly who paid for what, but nonetheless, a lot of clothes to the bargain. And apparently the Invictus people behind the scenes are very annoyed by the fact that actually the newspapers focused on what she was wearing and when and the designer and all that, and not focusing on the thing in hand. Now this is coming to a head, let me tell you, because who's going to break it to Meghan that, you know, ditch the designer frocks, love, here's a polo shirt with Invictus on, and this is what you're going to be doing to promote the brand. Either way, this is going to be a very delicate conversation for the former royal known as Prince Harry. But they're saying this is what they need to either shore up money, get people interested in buying the product online, and of course if she wears it, then they could say, well, as worn by the former royal known as the Duchess of Sussex. Tricky times, trust me, over in the land of Invictus. Things are not going as well as they're painting outside. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.